gonna tell you when it's too late? Who's gonna tell you things aren't so great? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. What who's gonna drive you home tonight? Who's gonna pick you up when you fall? Who's gonna hang it up when you call? Who's gonna pay attention to your dreams? Yeah, who's gonna plug their ears when you scream? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? Who's gonna hold it down when you shake? Who's gonna come around when you break? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong.
Swear I'm gonna find you now. Ooh, 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 one of these nights. Hey everybody, it's time for the ACC show with your boy C-Dog and no Pete. Conveniently no Pete. After they lost to Miami. What's up with that? I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't know anything about losing to Miami. I just can't relate to Pete in that regard. But you know, Pete claims to be in Texas. Maybe he's trying to find an orange team with some sort of success outside of the state of Carolina. Maybe, so I don't know. So your boy C-Dog's hosting the thing tonight. Of course, I am gonna see if anybody wants to join the old StreamYard there. Drop the link in the chat, and hopefully somebody will come in here and talk to me. I won't be talking to myself. That would suck. Okay, here we go. Slam, what's up, man?
What's going on, C-Dog?
I don't know. Long time no see. It feels like I haven't been very present when it comes to the ACC show lately.
No, you haven't, but you sure can make it to Rec Talk stream, so...
Well...
I mean, are you breaking up with us for the new kid on the block?
No, I can explain. For whatever reason...
And, yeah, they all have an explanation.
For whatever reason... I don't know. Tuesdays have not been working out for C-Dog. So...
It happens.
It is what it is. But, man, you're riding high, aren't you?
Well, I mean, it's not like we beat 2018 Clemson.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just that all these ACC teams, except for Tech, mind you, are getting their revenge on Clemson after not being able to beat them after all these years. So I sure wish that I could say the same, but my Jackets have been unsuccessful when it comes to that. I saw you retweeted my freaking post the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I for those of you that don't know, I posted on Twitter. It was like the meme of Squidward looking out the window at SpongeBob and Patrick. They're like having a great time outside, and it was Georgia Tech watching all the other ACC teams finally get a win over Clemson. So we haven't been able to do that. We've just sucked so bad. I mean, Clemson has been on a very uncharacteristic down period, and my Jackets have just absolutely failed and fumbled at freaking capitalizing on that and getting a win. We've lost to them like 8 years in a row. So hopefully we can change that. I don't know. Freaking Miami can do it. Freaking Duke.
Well, I tried to tell you your expectations for the year were a little lofty.
Yeah, you may have been right.
And I mean, it's not to say that Brent Key is a bad coach, but I mean, for what he inherited, Nick Saban couldn't do much with that.
Yeah, we definitely got a long way to go, for sure. When it comes to that, I just did a whole big long video. I'm waiting on it to upload. I did a whole video of me sitting on my roof, lamenting over the state of the program. It's just not in a good spot right now. I didn't think we'd be this damn bad.
I mean, listen, you've heard me say the same exact thing about Miami. One step at a time.
Yeah.
Make a damn bowl game and win it. Which, I mean, making a bowl game hasn't necessarily been Miami's problem. I mean, 1 year, kind of fluky. But win a damn bowl game, because you won one since 06.
Right.
Then worry about winning the conference.
Well, I thought a bowl game should definitely be at least what we're shooting for, but it looks like we won't even do that. Which is bullshit.
Well, you got to beat Virginia. You got to beat, who is it, Syracuse, I think.
Syracuse, and then we got to upset either North Carolina, Clemson, or Georgia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, totally freaking blew it. And it's like this every week. We were talking about it. It's like it was like this against Bowling Green. I was like, oh, that's it. No bowl, nothing. Like, it's over. It's totally over. I might as well pay my bets now. It's freaking over. We're not, we suck. And then we come out against Miami, and I'm like, well, 3-3, got the rest of the season ahead of us.
I wouldn't do it until you have that seventh loss.
Yeah.
Because fat lady saying.
You're right. Anything can happen. I think the team has the talent to win any game left on our schedule, really. But it's just, I don't know. We have some kind of mental issue that just, I don't know. It's frustrating because we got the talent, man. We got it.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of seeing what I saw out of Miami last year. Just a problem with fundamentals.
Yeah.
And obviously Mario's gotten that straightened out. So let's see if Brent Key can get that issue straightened out.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, though, like, first 4 games, or first 3, really, I guess, we were fundamental as hell. Like, we were the least penalized team in the country. We had, like, no turnovers or, like, 1 turnover throughout the first 3 games. We had, like, we were, it was, like, as fundamental as you could get. I was like, this is great. And we were just getting beat or whatever it was. And that was fine. And then all of a sudden, you get 17 freaking penalties against Wake Forest. And then now we're starting to turn the ball over. It's like, what the hell's going on? I don't know. It came out of nowhere. It was like, we played great. Haynes King played great. First 4 games of the season. Last 3 games, he's been terrible. I don't know. It's like they flipped a switch, and I don't know, man. I've been having a hard time figuring out what the hell's going on.
Maybe it's something like, I saw, honestly, for years out of Miami, I saw that team get into a season, and I can't tell you how many times that at least 2 or twice that I can think of off the top of my head, where they started off undefeated, lost to Florida State, and would drop, 4 of their next 5 or something like that. So, I mean, when people say your team has to learn to win and has to learn how to deal with adversity, those are very true things.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's definitely a mental thing, because I've seen us, like, have it together. I've seen us do it. It's just like being consistent. I mean, we're literally the definition of, like, inconsistency. We have.
Well, I mean, if the pattern continues, you should win this week.
If the pattern continues, we'll lose. We'll win. We'll beat North Carolina, lose to Virginia, beat Clemson, lose to Syracuse, and then beat Georgia. So, you know what? That would be fine with me. But
and that would put you at 6-6.
Yeah, no, that would be fine. That would be fine with me. But I just don't. I don't think it's gonna happen. If you go back and look at the wins we've had, they're ugly. Like the Wake Forest game, we dominated up until like third quarter or so, and then we started letting them come back. We hung on and won, but that was because Wake Forest sucks, you know.
Well, and sometimes you win ugly. I mean,
Yeah.
both Clemson and Texas A&M, Miami had to come back from self-inflicted wounds and 10 points down.
But we haven't had a win this year. We've had 3 wins, which FCS, one of them was an FCS game, doesn't even count. The second one was what I just said at Wake Forest, and the third one was Miami. We don't have one single convincing win. Like,
Well, I've got a feeling by the end of the year that Miami win's going to look good. I mean, once again, I'm not saying Miami's an elite team, but they're a good team.
I know. I mean, it was good, but, I mean, it was what it was. I mean, you guys basically handed us the win. It's not like... I mean, we had... Did you see where me and Rec Talk were talking about Miami was tipping their plays off?
I did, yeah.
So, I mean, if for those of you that don't know, Miami was you knew whether they were running or passing based on where the running back lined up. And we figured this out, and then Miami never fixed it. So we had the jump on them on defense all night. And still that game came down.
Something I've kind of noticed, a lot of teams are doing that.
Really?
And I think that what that is it's more a symptom of everybody running out of the shotgun.
Yeah. I suppose. I don't know.
Which I think is, in my opinion, is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah,
like
no.
I think it is the dumbest thing in the world to be running out of the shotgun on a 4th and 1.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I've seen, I don't know what the plague, there seems to be a plague of just dumb decision-making throughout all of college football. And it's like, I don't know, this is the type of stuff you see in like a middle school team or something. You don't expect to see it in the highest level of college football you can play, you know? So.
I mean, I didn't watch... Like, Miami's the only game I tend to watch from beginning to end. Throughout the day, I'm flipping from game to game. But I notice that same pattern with a lot of teams.
Yeah.
If the running back's just a little deeper, a lot of times it's a run play. If the running back is, closer up on the quarterback, tends to be a pass play.
Mm-hmm.
Either that, either the running back is running around out of the backfield or he's blocking.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if it's that's true, that's really bad. That's really bad.
Like I said, I think that's a symptom of everybody running out of the shotgun.
Yeah.
Because I mean the running back lining up deeper, it's no different than when everybody ran from under center.
Yeah.
Your running back was always deeper, so he can get a couple of steps when he's getting the handoff to build up some momentum.
Right. Yep. It seems like you'd put him back there sometimes, though, if you to fake it out.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think, yeah.
But anyway, why don't we say what's up to the chat? We got Matt Dumit in here, of course, first, the king of notifications. B Bean, who claims to be first, however, was defeated by Matt Dumit. Drake May, what's up? Millis Vanillis. A face from the past that has resurfaced.
Yeah.
Seminole Seth. Traveling Fools. Yo. Well ND, what's up, dude? Mike Popcorn Porter. Vic2 Productions. Wahoo Brad, congrats on your huge freaking win, dude. God dang. North Carolina, what happened?
Oh, my Lord.
We'll get to that. But congrats, freaking Wahoo Brad. This is like, it reminds me of like when we had like a terrible 3-9 season under Jeff Collins, and North Carolina gave us like the biggest win of the year for us too. They have a way of doing that. Giving these terrible teams with nothing else to celebrate something to be happy about once a year. So good for North Carolina. They're good guys.
I've noticed a conspicuous absence of Luke Walker as well.
Yeah, I was hoping he would come on and talk about talk about our bet because we still haven't really figured that out. I don't think. Now,
yeah, that seemed more than a little corny about something about him writing an essay.
well, it was his idea, and then I suggested other stuff, and he wouldn't. He kept saying no. So I'm like, geez. Well,
Like, if you have to do the Waffle House challenge, to me, he should too.
that's what I said, but he was like, I'm not doing that. So what the hell? Which brings me to my next thing. Richard Lely is in here. So Richard, he's the one that gave us the idea for the bet in the first place. Now I never agreed to do the bet with him, but he's asking how I want my crow breast cooked because he wanted to bet me that Georgia Tech will make a bowl game in the off season, and of course he says we won't. I said we would. Now he's asking how I want my crow breast cooked. Look, Richard, I had a bet with Luke, a North Carolina fan, that the loser of this game would have to eat a crow. But we can't find one anywhere, okay? So if you can find a crow, I'll eat it, all right? And that can be part of my bet with Luke, too. You know what I mean?
I mean, something tells me you're going to have to procure your own crow, sir.
Well, he said he would provide the crow. So, look, Richard, if you can find a crow, we tried. We've looked. I don't know if you've looked into it, but getting a crow is actually not easy. So,
well, y'all tried to buy one somewhere. I mean, he was probably just going to shoot one for you.
Well, if you do that, and well, geez, I don't know if I want to eat something prepared by a mystery person. You already have one in the freezer? Where the hell did you get a crow? What the hell?
Shot one off the power lines.
Did you shoot one off the power lines? What in the hell? I'll be damned. Why in the hell? Where the hell did you get a crow? I'm blown away. Oh my god. All right.
I mean, I've been known to hunt for dinner, but I don't have any crow on standby in my freezer.
Jesus, man. Well, maybe if we beat North Carolina, then I can borrow Richard's crow and make Luke eat it. So, if not, I'll freaking eat the crow. Whatever. Jeez, are you gonna prepare it? Are you going to prepare it right? Do you know what you're doing when it comes to plucking and everything with a crow? Do you know what you're doing? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd want to accept a crow from a random person in a
random
commenter.
I'm not either.
I mean, no offense, Richard, but there's some weirdos out there.
Yeah. Are you going to stuff it? I'm not sure how I feel about that. He says he'll eat it. Well, all right, man. You have one in the free. I don't. Okay. Moving on. This is all very strange. Let's see. Did I not get to anybody in here? I think that's everybody. D. Taylor, what's up? Miami's. He says Slim. Miami's. He's addressing you. He says Slim. Miami's 5-2 now. What do you think they'll finish? Who do y'all have left?
Same thing I've said. We've got Virginia, NC State, Florida State, Louisville, and Boston College.
You should at least win 3 more games.
So I'm probably going to stick with the same thing I've said since Texas A&M, 8-4, 9-3.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
It's like, I mean, it's not like they've been the beacon of consistency this year. I mean,
if you lose to Georgia Tech, kind of all bets are off. It's like,
well, not necessarily, because like NC State was the game that I picked us to lose that I thought we should win.
Right.
So if I end up just picking it wrong that it was Georgia Tech instead of NC State, I mean, well, so be it.
Well,
It
that's
is what it
assuming you
is.
handle your business against every lesser opponent.
Of course.
I could see you
course.
getting maybe an upset and then maybe getting upset one more time along the way.
Yeah, I mean, Louisville has looked better than I think all of us figured
Right.
they would this year.
Yeah, you'll be an underdog in that game.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on what Louisville does the rest of the year. Because even in the losses Miami's had, I mean, once again, it was self-inflicted wounds. It's not like they failed to produce offensively or really even defensively in either game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they still had 500 yards of offense against North Carolina, and the defense was playing lights out, so they just got gassed.
Well, D. Taylor, I hope that answers your question. And then we got Baylorman in here. What's up? All right, so that handles
Baylorman knows your pain.
Dude, Baylorman. What the hell, man? We're both having a rough time. God dang.
Baylorman's still got a path to a bowl game, though, that seems a little less daunting than Georgia Tech's.
Yeah, do they? I haven't looked at Baylor's schedule or seen them play at all, really.
I was listening. I don't remember their schedule off the top of my head, but I was listening to somebody talk about it earlier today.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we pull up this past week's ACC games and ACC games, ESPN, and that what Pete uses? ESPN.
I think so.
And they filters by ACC. Okay. All right. Week 8. Let's see how that looks. I got my S in here. All right, now we're looking at that. You should be able to see it too, right?
I mean, it's so small I can't read it.
Okay. That's okay. We're going to take a look at this. Graphics guy, complete no-show. When it comes when it comes to that. I mean, he's been a no-show when it comes to the ACC show for weeks now.
He has.
I don't know.
And I had hopes for this graphics guy. I did.
He blew his wad with the cool new graphic, I think. And hasn't been able to live up to that. So I had high hopes for him too. We'll have to move on from him. But let's see. Okay. Did you watch a lot of the games this weekend?
I watched a few. I mean, it unfortunately, they don't put a whole bunch of ACC games, on ESPN. They've relegated them to the CW.
Yeah, that's true. And I can't get them on the CW, not on Hulu anyway. But we did have games this weekend. In fact, every ACC game this weekend was really close. So, first, I guess, here is Duke and Florida State. Did you catch that one?
I flipped to it a couple times. It was on at the same time as Miami Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
I did end up seeing that play where Riley Leonard re-injured himself on that. I don't agree that they were trying to injure him. I mean, that was a very egregious face mask on that play because they literally just ripped his helmet right off.
Mm-hmm.
But from everything I've gathered, just listening to people talking about it, and I caught some highlights of it, Duke just wasn't able to perform very well offensively, and their defense just ran out of gas.
Yeah, it seems like they were in control of the game for the most part, until Riley Leonard went out, and then they had a lead at that point. But FSU was knocking on the door. Even if Riley Leonard stayed in, I'm not sure if they would have won. They probably would have lost by a field goal or something.
It was like the last 5 minutes that Florida State really
Right.
They win by 18, so they really started to
Yes.
pull away.
Yeah. Which sucks. I don't like. I hate it when injury. Like this game was cool. Like Duke really came out and punched Florida State in the mouth at home there
They
for
did.
and had a chance to spoil their undefeated streak, but Florida State hangs on, and we don't have any FSU fans in here or anything to gloat about it. So I guess that's that.
Yeah, I think Miami's probably the last best shot for Florida State to take a loss.
Let's see, who's Florida State got left? If I click on them, will it show me? Yeah, okay,
It
so
should.
they've got Wake Forest. Wake Forest is terrible. Pitt is terrible. Miami, North Alabama, okay, and then Florida. So, yeah, either Florida or Miami.
Yeah, and I wouldn't write off Florida either. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought, last year with Anthony Richardson that Florida State would just run away on
Right.
them,
Right.
but that's not what happened.
Yeah, Florida, too, seems to be – they seem to be – I don't know. They're 5-2.
I mean, they're not terrible. And I mean, just the fact that it's a rivalry game, weird stuff happens.
Right.
I don't really count anybody out,
Is it at Florida?
especially in rivalries that are that close. I do not know.
I'm assuming because – let's see. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Okay.
Yep, that's at Florida.
So, yeah. Very interesting. So, yeah, either Florida or Miami gets a hold of them, but I guess Florida State would rather it be Florida so that they can be undefeated in conference. Or, they could screw around and lose to Wake Forest or Pitt. I mean, you never know. They about did a lot to Boston College. But
I mean, this is true. And Pitt got absolutely robbed this week, in my opinion.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I actually bet on that game. I bet Wake Forest, so I was happy. I didn't watch the game, though.
There was a quarterback for Pitt. I can't think of who they put in.
It's not Jerkovic?
No, I think they benched him.
Really? Well, I heard he was terrible.
But I mean, he broke off on a 4th down run trying to convert and gave himself up. And they said he gave himself up short.
Is it?
But I mean, he was staring right at the first down marker.
Vilo.
However you say his name.
Christian Vilo. He's got
I think that, yeah.
He's got the LSU thing where it's EUX.
Well, yeah, but I remember Pitt talking about him. Apparently, he's French Canadian.
I see. So that's hilarious that's hilarious that Kenny Pickett literally caused that rule, and then a couple years later it cost him a game.
I said that. I was like, I think he was past the marker when he gave himself up, but I mean, that's karma coming back to kick you right in the teeth.
It really is, but let me ask this. Why is he sliding if he needs the first? Like, why not, push forward?
He didn't want to get hit.
Like, what the hell? That's bad. Like, if you're sliding when you absolutely, in a game-winning where a first down will give you a game-winning situation, then you need to not be sliding. What the hell is wrong with you? Now, I didn't watch the game.
I'm diving for it if it's me.
Exactly. I didn't watch the game. And who the hell are you? You're not you're not Bryce Young. You're not going to – I mean, you're Christian Velo. Freaking put your shoulder down and get the first.
I agree with you.
That's a dumb quarterback decision. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, you can't – I mean, whatever. At least you're not hurt, I guess. Jeez.
I mean, that's why I say you don't leave it in the ref's hands.
Exactly.
They'll screw you every time.
But that is a little bit of justice. That cracks me up.
Yeah, I'm not. The irony isn't lost on me, so I kind of let that one be.
Well, you know how I feel
I'm a
about
big fan
Pitt.
of irony.
You know how I feel about Pitt. Let's
Does
see.
anybody outside of Pitt fans like Pitt? I mean,
I don't even think Pitt fans like Pitt. I mean, all I see is Talk is Pitt on Twitter is arguing with other Pitt fans.
oh God, man, I didn't know. I underestimated what Pete was talking about. Now that I'm on Twitter, that man
You're on Twitter
lives
now?
on there. Yeah,
I guess you were. You
Well, yeah,
retweeted
you were
my thing the other day. Yeah.
yeah. That man lives on Twitter.
Twitter is such the perfect place for you, because literally anybody you follow, like the arguments they get in will pop up, and you can just join in on their arguments. It's the best.
Yeah,
it's the best thing ever.
I got to arguing with Pete and Jordan during the game. When Brenning Stool caught that second touchdown in the end zone, and he was bobbling the ball around, I was like, yeah. I was like, because this was after they ruled the safety that wasn't.
Yeah.
I was
that
like,
was a
okay,
safety, wasn't it?
All day long.
Yeah, I saw it, and it looked like one to me.
Yeah, well, and even like I get what the announcers were saying, but even they said the rule is if any part of the ball is in the end zone, it's a safety. Well, all of him was in the end zone, literally.
Yeah, I saw that too. That seemed pretty bad. I wish I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish Miami would have lost, because especially with a ref thing, because I'm really addicted to Touchdown Tim lately, and the article from him would have been incredible. It would have been incredible.
I'm surprised he isn't still ranting about the fact that it shouldn't have gone to overtime.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think he's come out with the article yet. He's of course
that's somebody I meant to follow on Twitter.
Yes, you got to. Timothy Johnson, that guy's hilarious. It is definitely a good follow. I've been obsessed with good old Tuddy T. But let's see. Let's pop back over to the comment section really quick. Let's see what you guys are talking about. D. Taylor asks if I think Georgia Tech is wasting their time and money with Key. Actually, I don't. These losses are terrible. However, we do go into every game with a chance to win, which is not something we could say under Collins. Like the team is better under Collins, and I think he will be able to get us to bowl competition. When, I don't know. Thought it should be this year. If it's not next year, then that's just not okay. But no, I like what I've seen.
Yeah, I would agree with you. If they don't make a bowl game next year, then it's time to worry a little bit.
It really should have been this year, but I mean, I guess if you want to make the argument that, like, I always liken it back to Steve Sarkisian, when he took over at Texas, and he had to weed out the old locker room,
Yeah. Well, Mario had to do the same thing.
Right.
And,
yep. Yep.
I realized that y'all were just looking at and this is something you and Rec both harped on, is the fact that Key was the interim coach, but then Rec pointed out in several videos since then that okay, Key was the interim coach, but he replaced 90% of the coaching staff.
Right.
So he may have been consistent, but basically nobody else was.
Well, what happened was I think I know, and I do. And I don't think that he's just magically worse than last year or something, because it seems like on the sidelines, if there's anybody that's furious and pissed off, it's him, dude. He raises hell on the sidelines. And he looked like he was about to kick Andrew Thacker's ass during that Bowling Green game. But so I don't think it's him that's the problem. I think we have a talent issue on defense that the guys that the recruiting and the transfer guys that we brought in have not stepped up the way they need to. I think we have a talent issue on the defense. That's why they're so bad. The offense is kind of where I thought they would be, is a lot of potential but inconsistent. And so,
well,
like,
here's where I'll disagree just a little bit, because I've watched Rec's video today. And he was talking about how they're consistently sending 10 men out on the field.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, no, that's not
coaching.
okay. That's coaching for sure. I'm not saying that Brent Key is blameless, for sure. That shit's got to get cleaned up. That's not okay. But I mean, I guess you look at it as like, his
it's
first
his first
year,
real year as a head coach.
Yeah, which I know is not. You're not a fan of letting. You know what I'm saying? Like first year head coaches be at your school or whatever you're saying.
I'm not. I mean, it normally, the majority of the time, it does not work out. Yes, there are exceptions, but exceptions don't disprove the rule. And there have even been exceptions at Miami. Butch Davis had never been a head coach before. But it took him some time to get the team built back up. I tell you who's lucky is Georgia, because Georgia's had back-to-back exceptions to that rule. Kirby Smart had never been a head coach before, and Mark Richt had never been a head coach before.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Both of them had been under some absolute greats for quite a long time when they took their job there.
Right. I get what you're saying, for sure. So, I mean, I guess we just got to put up with that shit for a while, and it better get cleaned up, or else, that's, yeah. Then we.
Yeah, if you go into. If next season you still have problems with just fundamentals of football, tackling, catching, getting 11 players out on the field, that's when you've got a problem and something needs to be done.
Right. It seems like the wheels just fall off too easily because like I said, we did come into the season looking fundamentally sound, and then it just fucking fell apart. So I don't know. Hopefully we can. I'm looking for more consistency, but I mean, this offense. I'm thinking we can get a. Hopefully, can take another step forward, and then the defense needs to get somewhere next year that to where they're not the worst defense in the country. I mean, damn. Besides Colorado. So let's see. I see my man Big Vol Daddy in the chat. Boner.
The great BBD.
He was bragging about his Greenville kid that plays for Wake, and he said he saved the day for them against Pitt.
Oh yeah, that was one of he was talking about that. I went on with him. What was that? Friday, I think it was. May have been Thursday. I think it's a tight end that caught that game-winning touchdown for Wake is from Greenville.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, he was bragging about him, and then he was saying that they would beat my Jackets, which of course didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. Unfortunately, that game's already been played, sir, and Wake Forest came up just a little short.
That's right. Let's see. Matt Q is asking if I have any UNC Tech predictions. Yeah, I'll come out with a video this week about my thoughts on that game. But I'll tell you right now, roll a freaking dice or flip a coin or something. I don't know. My prediction's as good as if I just farted into a camera or something. I don't know. It's not. I can't tell you either. It just depends what Tech team we see. It depends how North Carolina can respond from this horrible loss last week. A lot of people seem to think that they'll be more focused with the Virginia loss, which I could see that
previous years.
Yeah, I could see that, but also remember last year they lost to Georgia Tech and then they lost out. So
yeah,
that they're not above that, In fact, their track record.
And then don't forget just the absolute disaster that turned into Sam Howell's last year.
Yep. Well, they were like 6-6 or something that year, and lost to South Carolina. Yeah. That was the year Tech beat them. Just bad. So, So, your guess is as good as mine on that game, but I'll attempt to talk about it in a video here. Let's see. Your brother's embarrassed because they're playing on the CW at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Who's playing? Who are we playing against on the CW at 2 p.m.? Is that Virginia? I think.
I do not know.
I think. No, we're playing somebody at 2 p.m. on the CW. Hang on, let me. Because no, we're playing North Carolina at 8 p.m. next week on the ACC network. So, I'm not sure what team you're referencing there.
Yeah, I know Miami's got 3:30 game this week, and then I want to say it's 7 o'clock when we go to NC State.
Now, I'll tell you one thing I am excited for is we played horribly at home, but we usually turn up better at night. So I am hoping that can have some sort of effect on. Go, Lucy. My big fat cat is in the way. I'm trying to do the show here, please. Thank you.
Miami had a good turnout for that Clemson game too. That stadium noise was affecting Clemson's offense all night.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good showing last week too. It meant fuck all. I don't want to hear anything else about the fans need to show up at Bobby Dodd. No, we had one of the best crowds I've seen there in a while at the Boston College game, and this is why they don't show up. It's because you completely lay an egg. Like damn. So,
which in Miami's case, the most they can hope for, if they get good again, is really just sell out the big games. But I mean, if a Temple is showing up to Miami on a Saturday or Saturday night, I think the days of Miami selling out those games are gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it hasn't been that way since the mid '90s.
Right. What the hell? These guys are saying. Drake May says Virginia is unstoppable on the CW. I hope not, man. I hope not. Anyway, what game were we supposed to be talking about? Duke and Virginia. I don't know. We've jumped around a lot. Virginia, North Carolina.
I don't think we finished up with this past week's games.
Yeah, I think we talked about Duke and Florida State and went off on a tangent. Virginia, North Carolina, what an embarrassment.
Yeah, we talked about, oh, good God.
Yep. BC, Georgia Tech, I think we talked about that a lot. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. It's sad as I saw it. What's sad is I kind of saw it coming. I didn't preview the game last week because I got busy, but, I mean, I didn't go into this game with high expectations, and sure enough, my Jackets let me down. But I wasn't that upset about it. Did you see my stream?
I clicked on it a couple of times, because so many people are live. I try and bounce from stream to stream.
That's fine. It was one of the worst streams I've ever done. I was pissed off the whole time because I just knew we were going to suck, and we did, and I was pissed off, and I kept yelling at my friends, and we were all pissed off at each other, and then they kept screwing with me, and I finally snapped, and I took these chips, a box of chips, and threw it out the back deck, and I was at my friend's house, dude, and his wife...
I saw the part where you got yelled at.
You saw that? Dude, his wife was pissed, man. She was like, you better get the chips out the fucking tree.
Everybody on Pigskin Pete stream saw it, too.
Oh, did he click over to it and show it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, damn.
Somebody else told him about you getting chewed out, so he went to go look for it.
Yeah. I straight up deflected. I was like, it wasn't me. It was him. I tried to blame it on my brother. It didn't work. I got busted. But I got the chips out of the tree, and we laughed about it
paid
after.
for those damn chips.
Yeah, we laughed about it afterwards. It was fine, but the stream was a total turd from start to finish. A total turd. I was in a bad mood, and then it just went off the rails, which is funny. I think it's kind of funny when stuff goes wrong. So.
It definitely can be.
So whatever. I hope y'all enjoyed that. It was a complete disaster of a stream. Hopefully, not all my streams are that bad, but yeah, chips out of the tree, and we're all good. So that's the boss.
All right. I mean, you weren't the only one having a meltdown because Jordan Bowman was on Twitter too.
Oh, was he? I bet.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
I mean, because Miami hadn't beat. Now, granted, obviously we hadn't played that often, but Miami hadn't beat Clemson in Miami since like 1956.
Yeah. Yeah.
That 80-yard touchdown run by Rashard Smith in the first quarter was the longest run Clemson's given up in 14 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clemson, I mean, I would get why they're frustrated. I mean, they're watching their own fall from grace in slow motion, honestly.
Well, that's how it always happens.
They're watching it in slow motion.
It happened the same way with Miami. It was year after year once Larry Coker took over that they just got a worse record.
Not necessarily. Sometimes teams will bomb the very next year after winning a natty or something. But Clemson has just slowly declined. And it's slowly getting worse and worse. Like the fans are getting more and more pissed off. And it's funny to me, honestly, because they're spoiled.
That bandwagon's a little lighter.
They're spoiled. Do you think Dabo lost on purpose? So that
no, I don't think Dabo.
I don't think so either. I think he's just I think he's doing it to himself. I mean, all of their what's maddening about it is all of their problems are all self-inflicted. And just Dabo's just refusal to admit his mistakes. And I thought mistakenly that the Garrett Riley hire was kind of a sign that he was learning his lesson and going to try to move on and improve. But no, turns out Garrett Riley's running the Clemson offense. They're not running the Garrett Riley offense. So if I had known that,
well, I mean,
I wouldn't have been.
That's
so
like
high.
That's like Dabo's spiel, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his answer for everything.
No, but then they go out and prove it.
Yeah, I mean, it is their offense totally different than what they were running last year? No.
Neither is their quarterback play, or their receiver play, or their running back. Their offense really is just
now,
terrible.
I agree. I agree with. I think their problem's twofold. Not only, Dabo putting his fingerprints all over the offense, but I think a good contingent of the Clemson fan base is right when it comes to Dabo's nepotism and hiring.
Yeah.
And constantly wanting to hire Clemson guys.
Yeah. I saw somebody say they were like, just because like Slash and Jimi Hendrix are two really good guitar players doesn't mean that they can teach somebody else how to,
Right, and listen, I fight with Miami fans all the time about it because they're some of the first ones. Oh, hire Ray Lewis to be the linebackers coach. Yeah. What has Ray Lewis done in his life to make you think he'd be a good linebackers coach? Now, I'm not saying he won't because we have one of those on our team, on our coaching staff, obviously, with Jason Taylor.
Yeah.
But Jason Taylor worked his way up through the high school ranks to being a defensive coordinator in high school.
Yeah.
And, started on the recruiting staff there. And then when their DN coach left, he got promoted. And obviously he's doing a good job. I mean, Reuben Bain is a monster. And he's a true freshman.
Right. So, yeah. Clemson just completely just a total joke. I mean, what more can you say? it really frustrates me that Georgia Tech can't get their head out of their ass and put together a decent performance, because this year, last year, and the year before really would be a great opportunity for us to finally break our losing streak against them. But we can't
nobody said Clemson's done yet.
We can't.
mean,
I'll believe it when I see it with Clemson. To be honest.
Well, I'm talking about their fall. I mean,
Yeah.
Nobody's saying their fall's done yet. I mean, if Dabo don't make some changes, it's going to continue.
Oh no, I'm assuming that they will continue this trend, and I don't think they're done losing yet this year either. I mean, let's take a look at the rest of their schedule. Obviously, we're going to preview the NC State game coming up, which I don't even know what. Oh, 2 o'clock on the CW. Maybe he was talking about his brother-in-law that's a Clemson fan. Now Clemson's playing at 2 p.m. on the CW.
Wow.
Man, talk about a fall from grace. Oh, my God.
Wait till Uncle Lou gets a hold of that tidbit information.
Oh, man. I saw his asshole in the freaking chat. He says, I love listening to a Georgia Tech man and Miami man host the show since they have identical programs today. Yeah, very funny. Only difference
Miami's
between
good football team, so I don't even know what he's talking about.
Only difference between Miami and Georgia Tech in the last 20 years is that Miami has been through more coaches. God dang. What's up, CJ?
Miami never had a 3-win season either. I mean, I ain't taking shots. It just is what it is.
Oh, yeah. Elliot Waller, too, says the QB not running the play that was called. What's up with that, dude? Cade Klubnik goes rogue on the final play of the game and costs Clemson.
And even though he does, what are you doing, Dabo, calling out a player like that? Like, you handle that shit in private.
Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. That's bad.
Yeah, and
it was a bad play
kind of
call
with Pete.
anyway.
Like, I thought that was the play that was called because it kind of looked obvious to me with basically nobody lined up to the left side of the formation.
Well, Pete said, too, he was saying that Pete said, too, that he predicted it. He looked at his wife and said, yeah, he's going to keep it, and then we're going to try to run him in, and it's going to be a loss on the play to lose the game. That's what he said. So,
I mean, and listen, even if he had handed it off, it's not a sure thing that they would have scored because Miami's defense had bowed their back basically the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah. I kind of knew once it went into overtime that Miami – because has there ever been like a time when a team comes back and then goes into overtime? I wonder how often – I'd like to see that stat. Like, how often is it when a team comes storming back and ties it up, goes into overtime, and then loses? It seems like they have the momentum at that point and they win. That's what happened with Miami.
Yeah.
And
that's twice this year that's happened to Clemson.
Yeah.
They were leading basically all game against Florida State.
Right.
And then Florida State tied it up, sent it in overtime, and won.
Yeah. Exactly. And CDawg18 with a good point. He says the running back wasn't getting through anyway. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good call anyway.
I'm right there with Clemson fans. I mean, he hadn't done great in that game, but that's more credit to Miami's defense. But why is Shipley in that situation? Why isn't Maffa in?
Yeah. Well, Pete I saw his state of the fan, and he was pissed off about the Maffa being underutilized. So
I mean, maybe Maffa refused to get baptized by Dabo or something. I don't know. I can't figure that one out for the life of me.
So check this out. They got NC State left, Notre Dame. They'll probably beat NC State. They're bad. And then they got it's at NC State though, so I could see that being a close game. I mean they had a close game against Wake Forest at home, so you never know. But
NC State's playing at home the next 2 weeks because we got them the week after that.
Really? Let's see. NC State is 4-3, better than I had thought. Better than I had thought. Actually, they're actually not terrible. They have 3 quote unquote good losses to Notre Dame, Louisville, and Duke. I mean, there's no shame in losing to those teams. So
No, but I mean, turn around and look at their wins. UConn,
yeah, Marshall,
Virginia military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. They haven't played a lot of mid opponents. So.
And they kept it close against Louisville. 13-10.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yep.
Now, not Duke, obviously.
They don't really play any like mid-tier ACC opponents until like Wake Forest or Virginia Tech at the end of the year. So I think the jury's out on them still, or yet to.
Well, it's Dave
yet to
Dorn. I mean.
Yeah, well, they got the upset against
Dave
Clemson
Dorn's
a couple years ago, and he wants that win bad against Clemson. So who knows? But
I get it, and I've never understood that. Like, I get why Pete doesn't like NC State because he thinks Dave Dorn's a prick. But there just seems to be a lot of bad blood between those two teams and those two fan bases, and I don't get the correlation.
I don't either, but it means a lot to them, I guess. So we'll see about that game.
It just means more in the ACC.
So this is their remaining schedule: NC State, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, South Carolina. They're losing to Notre Dame. They're losing to Notre Dame.
They should, but at the same time, I'm kind of underwhelmed by Notre Dame this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Notre Dame. Well, they've had a tough schedule, I think. So
They have.
being 6-2. I mean, Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, and Southern Cal all in a row. That's tough. So to come 2-2 out of that stretch,
that Southern Cal game is looking
worse
and worse by the minute.
Yeah, it's not like a crappy win.
It's a testament. It's a testament to Notre Dame's defense, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, and they dominated it too. So I think that's impressive. Like it was never in doubt. So
no.
So I think you can tip their hat to that one. And look, I'm by no means I freaking hate Notre Dame. So, but they do have a tough schedule. I mean, that's a crazy stretch. So to go 2-2 in that stretch is pretty impressive to me. They got Pitt.
I'm not knocking them.
They got Pitt this week, which is like, what in the hell are you doing? My cats are addicted to screwing with me while I'm streaming. But yeah, I see at least one more loss for Clemson.
At least, if not two.
Yeah. Which that puts you at oh my God, 8-4, 7-5, dude. God dang. And
I talk about my pick going to shit. I said Clemson was going to make the playoffs.
I did too. I thought I bought into the Garrett Riley hire.
Yeah.
I bought into the Garrett Riley hire. I thought he finally learned his lesson, but no. Man. Well, I don't feel bad for him because they've had their time in the sun. So
now it's somebody else's turn.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I mean, hopefully, if we can get our head out of our ass, we can finally get a win over them. So that about covers last week's games, except for, which was my birthday, of course. Saturday, October 21st. Freaking loss. Pisses me off.
Yeah, hell of a birthday present. Thanks, Georgia Tech.
Thanks. Yeah. Happened last year, too. We played Virginia. So, thank you.
That's why I'm glad my birthday's in March. I ain't gonna worry about that.
Literally, all I want, I've been saying this since offseason. All I want on my birthday is a win. Maybe some ice cream cake. Well, at least I got ice cream cake. So
I'm about to say, I mean, you got it. You're batting 500.
Yep. So I think we've talked about every game there.
Onward and upward to week 9 we go.
Yeah, let's check it out. Oh, we got a freaking sweet matchup on a Thursday night. Hell yeah. I love this. I love this. Syracuse and Virginia Tech. Now, not a sweet matchup, but I'm just glad we got football on a Thursday. Because I can just relax, and I just like it because then I don't this is like one less game I have to like halfway watch on this is a game I wouldn't otherwise watch, so I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Where's it at?
At Virginia Tech on a Thursday night.
Ooh, Enter Sandman on a Thursday night. Oh,
in Blacksburg.
man. I might have to go with Tech on this one.
Let me see the line. Can I find the line on this? I'm on ESPN, which I don't use a lot, so I'm not sure about this, but oh my goodness gracious. Syracuse is 0-3 in conference play. Wow. I didn't know that, but they're 4-3 overall. Wow.
Yeah, but Virginia Tech is 2-1 in conference play.
Yeah, Virginia Tech has been surprisingly better than I kind of thought. They still are 3-4, but with some bad losses to, god dang, to Purdue and Rutgers and Marshall. What the hell?
Oof.
I don't know what to make of this. This is two bad teams.
I mean, I get the Florida State loss. It is, and I see the predictor there.
Yeah, Syracuse is favored 61%.
Man.
Oh, here we go.
Just because I like the whole Enter Sandman.
So this is interesting. The ESPN matchup thing is favoring Syracuse, but the Vegas is favoring Virginia Tech -3, which if that probably is just for home stadium. They say this is probably about a pick 'em. Otherwise,
yeah, it'd be a pick 'em on a neutral site. Yeah,
I would stay away from this game. I wouldn't bet this game if. I mean,
no, I'm not betting it, but like I said, give me Enter Sandman in that, especially on a Thursday night.
Yeah. So that's cool. We get a game that we wouldn't otherwise watch on a busy Saturday. So I like that.
I don't know. This Saturday really isn't that great. I mean, if you just look over the entire slate.
Really? I haven't looked at the games this weekend.
Not the greatest.
No? Okay. Well, we do have Florida State and Wake Forest. Yeah, not the greatest.
Man, Florida State should dominate this game.
Wake Forest is bad.
And they are. And I realize this isn't the Wake Forest of previous years.
It's at Wake Forest.
Much to the same reason, I think Georgia Tech still got a chance against North Carolina because they've just had their number. Wake Forest has won like the last 4 or 5 against Florida State.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, Wake Forest. Have they benched that terrible quarterback they have yet?
I hope so.
Let's see what they did against.
Like I said, Florida State better win it.
Oh, they sure did.
I would.
Yep. Marucci at quarterback instead of Mitch Griffiths. Look, here it is right here. Third string Santino Marucci throws late touchdown pass as Wake Forest tops Pittsburgh. So, I don't know why they're on their third string quarterback. Look at this. Look at this probability. God. 83% it said. I always love seeing those.
That's a trip to see how that thing moves.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you saw the one for the Miami Georgia Tech game.
I sure did.
Okay. Wake Forest on their third string quarterback. Give me Florida State.
Yeah. Give me Florida State most definitely. But
yeah.
Don't fuck around and find out.
They're 20.5-point favorites. Wow. Yeah, the only thing would be a classic upset. And we've seen it happen now with Virginia and Louisville, both undefeated and both went down to shitty competition. So
Yeah. And Florida State has played down the competition this year.
Yep. See Boston College, which Boston College might not be as bad as we had previously thought. They did lose to Northern. God dang, they are bad. Never mind. That being said, they do have UConn. I don't know.
Well, they're on a 3-game win streak.
They were
Probably
terrible.
Finna make it 4.
From what it seems like is that they are better than at the beginning of the year. That they lost to Northern Illinois, had a barely squeak by Holy Cross.
Yeah.
But it seems like they've kind of turned things around here. 3-game winning streak, make it 4. Let's see what the they are 14.5-point favorites. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
They play them at home.
UConn is vying for the worst Division I college football team. Period.
Are they again? 1-6. Wow. Okay. I see.
Yeah. Wow, they beat JT Daniels and Rice though. Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, there's no way that man's getting drafted losing to UConn.
Yeah. I thought they were decent last year. Like Boston College went to UConn last year and lost. But looks like they got them at home.
They
this
may
year,
have
so.
been. I don't remember, but that would be a blip on the radar if that were the case. Year in and year out. UConn's through and through a basketball school. There ain't no two ways about that.
No, I remember last year or the year before they were like, oh, and whatever, and their AD had to come out and say, yes, we are committed to having a football program.
Really? You sure could have fooled the rest of us.
It's bad when they're coming out talking about, yes, we want to have a football program, okay? So, it's bad whenever. So, anyway, Boston College will probably win this one. They're hot right now. So, look out for Boston College. They got UConn, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Pitt, and Miami left. So, they could make a bowl here. Easily make a bowl if they handle their business.
Yeah, they'd only need to win one more game to make a bowl.
Look, these 4 right here, you couldn't ask for a better matchup. They might even get to 7 or 8 wins, dude.
They might.
I doubt it because they're what an easy schedule. Besides Louisville and Florida State, look at this freaking cupcake freaking schedule. God dang. Anyway, that's enough about Boston College and UConn.
Some of us aren't that lucky.
I know. Tell me about it. We played Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Louisville, and someone else ridiculous. Oh, Florida State next year.
Well, you can throw that out the window. They're going to have to redo all those schedules now that Stanford, Cal, and SMU are entering the.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, you can throw all that out the window. They'll have to post some new ones come this summer.
You're right. I forgot about that. Okay. Clemson and NC State. We kind of talked about this already at 2:00 on the CW. Kind of talked about that already. Do you get anything else to add?
Clemson should win.
Yeah.
Keyword being should.
Yeah.
But, at this point, flip a coin with Clemson.
Yep. Yep. I'm hoping my Jackets can get a win over them here in the future. Pittsburgh at Notre Dame. Pittsburgh is going to get demolished. Notre Dame's... are they coming off a bye week? Or? Well, no. Because I got USC. You'd think it was a bye week. I think they are coming off a bye week.
USC just played Utah.
You're right. So they are coming off a bye. Okay, yeah. They'll kick Pitt's ass. They're probably a huge favorite.
Oh, yeah. They're rested up.
Yeah. 20-point favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Notre Dame. Yeah.
Oh, it's at Notre Dame? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to kick Pitt's teeth in.
Yeah. I'll take them to cover 2 even. Oh, this is an interesting one. Duke and Louisville. Now, is Riley Leonard out forever? Or?
I do not know. I have not even looked into it. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, if Riley Leonard's out, then I would say that they're probably. I'm gonna pick Louisville because even if Riley Leonard's in, he's not 100%, and I just
he's not 100%. No, but Louisville's offense is not Florida State's.
Yeah.
And I don't see them gassing out as easily as they did against Florida State.
Now, they are coming off of a loss to Pitt. So they're probably, I mean, look, and that they got upset. What in the hell?
Yeah, but is Louisville going to let Pitt beat them twice? I mean,
I'm clicking on Louisville here, and this dumbass Georgia shit is coming up. Like, I don't want to see this crap.
And Alabama and Tennessee.
I don't care. Can I, I'm going to file a complaint. Where's the button that's like, don't show me more of this. I don't want to see this crap. What an ugly-ass uniform logo, player. I just don't want to see that crap. This is ACC.
Yeah, I saw you talking
time.
about on Twitter how even if you gave up on Georgia Tech, you'd become a Tennessee fan.
So it's, or something, or anything, literally anything else besides Georgia. Just because, like, even if my Jackets were to be so bad that I would say, that's it, I'm giving up on them, I'm never watching them again, why in the hell would I just suddenly like Georgia? No.
Yeah, but picking Tennessee, that's like going from the 7th circle of hell to the 3rd.
Well, that was just an example. I would pick probably one of those teams that hates Georgia as well, so I kind of fit in, you know? So, like Florida, or hell no, I wouldn't pick Miami. In fact, Miami and Georgia should get along because they never play each other and they hate the same teams, but they don't because their fan bases are too volatile to get along.
I got nothing against Georgia. I mean, some of the dumb
you come on and talk shit about
of
Georgia all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that's because Big Dog Brett comes on and gives Miami hell all the time, so I just return the favor.
Yeah.
It's like he said some dumb shit today in his video.
Right. Well, yeah, I would never cheer for Georgia. Even if I were to give up on the Jackets, like, I don't know where the thinking comes from. Like, all of a sudden, the years of my hatred for them just goes away, and I.
Yeah, but you said Tennessee. You would go over to an SEC team?
I mean, this is a made-up scenario. I'm not going to stop cheering for the Jackets, but, I mean, in a made-up scenario, I might pick a team that hates Georgia, too. That would kind of be where I went with that. I get along with these SEC East teams. You know, when I did the hat thing and everything, all those teams, their fans, they love it. They always come to my channels and say, hell yeah.
So you become like a Tennessee fan or a Florida fan?
Yeah,
or...
the Florida fans love it. The Tennessee fans love it. The South Carolina fans love it. I've always got along with SEC East teams and Alabama fans. Always got along with them. And Auburn fans, all of them. So that's where I lie with that. I'll never cheer for. I would cheer for Al Qaeda before I cheered for Georgia.
Wow, that's bad.
That's right.
That's bad. This man would pick the Taliban.
Taliban. That's right. Literally. Yes, that's right.
That's awesome.
Literally not even the last team. If it came down to cheering for Georgia or never watching football again, I would just not watch. That's how much I hate these son of bitches. So. What were you talking about?
You'd be like those people. We were talking about Louisville's game.
Duke versus Louisville, yeah.
Yeah, but you clicked on Louisville and they decided to show a bunch of Georgia shit.
Yeah.
So you got off on a tangent.
That's right.
Give me Duke.
I don't think so. Give me Louisville. I think Riley Leonard is going to be too much. Plus, it's at Louisville. I'm going to take Louisville. Now, I am curious to see the line on this game. Let's see. So Louisville's 53 percent favored and a 4.5 favorite. So that makes sense. Makes sense to me.
I mean, that's basically a pick 'em.
Right.
I mean, that'd make them a 1-point favorite on a neutral site.
Right. So I'm sad. I wish Riley Leonard was fully healthy because this would be an awesome game if he was. But
I agree.
It is what it is.
And maybe he will be. Like I said, it's just not something I've looked into.
Yep. It is what it is. All right, 3:30. We have Virginia, Miami. I'll let you take this one.
I mean, Miami should just absolutely obliterate Virginia. Well, I was just fixing to say that. Cristobal's already said Tyler Van Dyke's good to go for this game.
Wow, 91.5%. Oh, wow. Wow. You are 19-point favorites.
Well, I don't bet on Miami, and also they're not great at covering spreads, so it wouldn't surprise me if they don't cover the spread. But Virginia is bad, man. I mean, what are they, a 2-win team with that North Carolina win?
Yeah.
And then you hear it all the time. It's hard to get, the same team to show up on the field week after week. But I mean, if the defense comes out and does half of what they did against Clemson, they could still very well shut out Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't Virginia usually play all pretty close though?
Sometimes it's kind of been a back and forth thing. I mean, I've seen Virginia blow us out. I've seen us blow out Virginia.
Yeah, I could totally see Virginia thinking that they have something put together and then coming out with a stinker this week. Which I mean, it's not like. No offense, I see Wahoo Brad in here. He says they'll probably get brought back to reality. So he said it before me.
Yeah. Well, listen,
what a guy!
I don't think Miami's some elite team. I think they're a good football team.
No, they're just better than Virginia. I mean, Virginia's that bad.
Well, we're better than Georgia Tech too, and we see how that turned out.
Well, I mean, the thing with Georgia Tech is we have the capability of being good from week to week, but Virginia doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it might not be that bad to lose to Georgia Tech. At least not as bad as it would be to lose to Virginia. Because we are bad, but we're schizophrenic. So sometimes we play good. Yeah,
I mean, I agree with that. I think losing to Virginia is worse than losing to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. But that's about all I can say. I'm not carrying water for my Jackets anymore, dude. They just continually let me down. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, unless Tyler Van Dyke comes out and has another 3 or 4 interception day, which I don't see happening. I mean, I know people that didn't watch the game and just looked at the box score was like, Tyler Van Dyke threw 2 interceptions against North Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but context matters, and one of them was literally just heaving the ball into the end zone on the final play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it is, yes, it's in the stat box, but would anybody really consider that, a bad interception? No.
Right.
I mean, that one just is what it is.
Yeah, so Miami should win.
And hopefully cover.
Yeah, 19 points.
And at that point, I'll have one half of our bet done. Because that'll be Miami Bowl eligible.
Dadgummit. Don't remind me of that shit. Now Virginia, they're not quite as lifeless as you would think a 2-5 team would be. On a hot streak here. They're on a 2-win streak.
2-win streak.
On a 2-win streak.
William and Mary in North Carolina.
Man, I don't even know the difference between those two schools.
Quite a bit.
Let's see. Yeah, they might win out. I don't know. All right. North Carolina, Georgia Tech. What can I say? It's at 8:00. Look.
Prime time. Make a statement.
Look, we play better at night. We play terrible at home. We have North Carolina's number. This is all factors of the game in no particular order. We have North Carolina's number. North Carolina's coming off of a loss. Last year, they collapsed after losing to us, so it's not necessarily a given that they will bounce back. However, Haynes King has had 3 bad games in a row now. The in a row part is what concerns me. If he had 1 bad game, then a good game, or a couple good games in a row, I would feel a little better. But 3 bad games in a row makes me concerned.
I don't think you can count out having a mental edge, though. And I mean, some teams just have another team's number.
Yeah.
You can't count out a mental edge.
Yeah. I mean, that's what
I mean,
it is.
I wouldn't put 2 cents on Georgia Tech to win, but I'm just saying you can't count out the possibility, because sometimes you're just, if a team's got a number, got your number, they're in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's what it seems to be for Georgia Tech. I could totally. I don't think any outcome in this game would surprise me. Right? Whether it's a blowout either way, or if it's a close game either way, I don't think anything would surprise me.
I would be very surprised if Georgia Tech blew out North Carolina.
I mean, yes, but we did it 2 years ago under Jeff Collins, and
yeah, you had Jahmyr Gibbs 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, and Jeff Sims. So,
well, Jeff Sims played better at Georgia Tech than he did at Nebraska.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't that year. He was terrible that year, absolutely terrible. He was turning the ball over every week, but he didn't against North Carolina. He was perfect that game. He was making insanely accurate throws, making great reads. He wasn't turning the ball over. It was a completely uncharacteristic game for Jeff Sims that game in specific, and we absolutely kicked their ass. So, I mean, we're a much more competent team than that Jeff Collins team this year. We're inconsistent, yes, but we are more competent. So, no, it honestly wouldn't surprise. I'd be fucking over the moon if we blew them out, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's probably the least likely. It's probably the least likely scenario, but I mean, I kind of just based on the past 2 years, I'm just not surprised over what I see from this game. So.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't put 2 cents on Georgia Tech. No offense. But
no, I wouldn't either.
I'm not going to count them out either.
Yeah. I wouldn't either.
Like you said, though, depending on what Georgia Tech team shows up. I mean, if the Georgia Tech team shows up, or especially the defense shows up that just lets Boston College run right up the middle untouched.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're in for a long day.
No, you're right. No, and they could absolutely kick our ass. You're right. So, what Tech team will show up is what will depend on this, what will determine this game. They're 11.5-point favorites, which is honestly kind of low.
Yeah, I would have assumed that would have been higher.
21.5 would be my guess, but or 17 or something.
I figured at least, yeah, it's exactly where I was fixing to go.
Yeah.
I figured it would have been at least 17.
Yeah. So.
And where's it at? It's at Georgia Tech.
At Georgia Tech at night. I don't know, man.
See,
also,
you got a night game. Why didn't you save the black jerseys for that?
That would be sweet. But we can't help but lose in those jerseys, so I'm glad we're not wearing them. But here's another factor. Look at this trend here. Now, I'm not a genius, or I'm not.
If the pattern continues.
I don't have ESPN, okay? But, I mean, look at this. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. What would come after that? I don't know. You tell me. So, now if we break this streak and it's 2 losses, I'm going to be pissed. I would want to break the streak with 2 wins. Although, you look at these 3 wins, and they're bad. So it makes me have absolutely no faith in the team. And I'm just not stoked on this Yellow Jackets team. So we probably lose, but it wouldn't surprise me if we won. So that's my assessment on the game. So.
I would be surprised if you won, but like I said, I'm not going to, there are some factors that could lead to Georgia Tech winning.
Right. There sure are. Well, I think we about covered everything, Slim.
Unless there are any other games you want to talk about this weekend just to kill some time. Or we can...
Not really.
I got finish it off.
I got shit to do. So I'm gonna go take care of some...
World Boss, I just live in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of I'm gonna go take care of some stuff. And I will I really appreciate you coming on. What a guy.
Yeah,
You're the only one that freaking showed up tonight out of the entire ACC panel. What the hell?
Well, we can see who's got their ACC pride.
That's right. Well, you conveniently also happen to be the only one that won. None of the Clemson fans showed up. Luke didn't show up.
Luke didn't show up after Miami won. After Miami lost to North Carolina either. So
yeah, he's
kind of been incognito for a couple of weeks.
That's true. I don't know what we're gonna do about our bet. Maybe we should just call it off. I don't know. It needs to be whatever it is. Needs to be settled before the game. I don't want to have to lose or something, and then have to put up with whatever he decides. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Y'all definitely should have figured this out or stuck with the original plan.
I'll try to hit him up on Twitter or something and see what he says, but yeah.
I gotta find him on Twitter.
Yeah. Yep, so well, Slim, I appreciate you coming on. You're the man.
All right, buddy.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and end the show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Long live the ACC. And
Toodles.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.